It's now my pleasure to introduce Father Stephen Privett, President of the University.
I'm still in denial about Jim's leaving to take up a faculty position, so I'm going to save my words of appreciation and gratitude to Jim when and if reality finally crashes through my consciousness. I want to thank all of you for being here this morning to begin the university's 154th academic year. USF has come a long way from that one-room shack in the sand dunes of what is now 4th and Market Streets that first opened its doors to 3 students on October 15, 1855. It was unimaginable then that disappointing and inauspicious beginning of St. Ignatius Academy was in fact the harbinger of future growth and development into an institution that has since changed its name 3 times and hopscotched across the city to this 4th and presumably final site of the University of San Francisco. Our tradition of nimbleness and adaptability to changing circumstances will serve us well through a future that will see more change in a decade than has taken place during the entire 6,000 years of recorded history. 3 weeks ago, some USF faculty and staff trekked south to another Jesuit university for the celebration of the 100th anniversary of the establishment of the California province of the Jesuit order. We were reminded there that the Jesuits first arrived from Oregon in San Francisco Bay on December 8, 1849, in the person of 2 Italian Jesuit priests, Michael Accolti and John Nobili. Amidst the frenzy of the gold rush, these gentlemen came to California, and I quote, not pursuing gold, but to do a little good. That little good includes the University of San Francisco, as well as 6 high schools, 2 other universities, and many diverse works across 5 states. This university, all of those works are a tribute to the vision, dedication, and hard work of those who began USF's 154-year-old tradition of doing a little good in the city and the world. My remarks at last year's Convocation traced the university's progress on the 4 strategic priorities that we set in 2001. It was an occasion for us to celebrate our success and relish the more than little good that we have accomplished together here on the hilltop. That moment passed quickly as we rallied to face an increasingly steep economic downturn. The university responded to the impending fiscal crisis with alacrity and decisiveness. Thus far, it appears that our strategies are working, but the economic picture remains dark and cloudy at best. You all know about the layoffs, furloughs, pay cuts, class reductions, and similarly harsh measures taken at other universities, public and private, in response to the financial maelstrom. Our reacting early, quickly, and effectively have allowed us thus far to avoid the drastic and dramatic steps that others have been forced to take. In fact, the executive officers of the university on the leadership team are the only members of the university community who did not receive some salary increase. And I would ask them to stand and you to join me in applauding their generosity and commitment to the university. In the course of the past year, we sent out a number of communications to inform everyone about our efforts to deal with a collapsing economy. We brought faculty and staff into the leadership team discussions. We introduced USF Cares to address the anxieties of our students and their families. And we launched the Keeping Faith with Students campaign, which generated an additional $900,000 to supplement student financial aid, to which many of you contributed, and I thank you for doing that. Today, I will not review in detail last year's thus far successful response to the challenges of the recession. I want to look to the future in anticipation of what we have only just begun to accomplish. While we trimmed our sails and adjusted our course in response to the economic turmoil, we did not go down below, batten down the hatches, and ride out the storm. If we altered our course, we never lost sight of where we were headed, nor did we compromise the quality of a USF education. This morning, I want to acknowledge and highlight some of the innovations and new programs that were initiated at the same time that we were battling those gale-force financial headwinds in a highly volatile situation. Among the most noteworthy advances conceived, designed, and implemented during the past year was online registration for incoming students. Peter Novak, an Associate Dean in Arts and Sciences, oversaw this gargantuan university-wide effort from the drawing board to its successful launch this June. I thank Peter, IT, and all of you faculty and staff who participated in this Herculean effort, which got USF's hooks deep into prospective students early in the summer and allowed us to completely revamp our on-campus new student programs because we no longer had to devote a disproportionate amount of time, theirs and ours, into getting them into classes. Our summer introductory program was strikingly different from that of previous years. No longer were the days filled with tests and trials of registration processes and procedures. This summer, students were divided up into small groups, given a Muni card and a cell phone. And the cell phone texted clues that took them around the city via public transportation to visit one historical site, one cultural site, and one service site in San Francisco. And at those sites, actors greeted them. So for example, Father Occulti met them at Mission Dolores and recalled the intertwined histories of the city and the university.